How wonderful to see you, Professor Powdyel. Absolutely
Namaste.
delighted.
Good to see you too.
And what a wonderful audience we have today. It's so heartwarming, so exciting. We had over 1,000 registrations, and I hope we can accommodate at least 1,000 today.
That's amazing. Yes. Thank you so much for having me in.
It's absolutely delightful to have you present, and I will just introduce you in a while. But while people are coming in, we've got the former Education Minister of Bhutan join us, Professor Powdyel, who led the Green School movement and the happiness movement in Bhutan. And we would love you to say a few words for us when we start, Professor Powdyel.
Thank you so much indeed. Yes.
Students, parents, teachers, guardians, principals, it is an immense joy and pleasure and honor for all of us at the Institute for Career Studies to have you join us today. We are so very honored to have Professor Powdyel from Bhutan in our midst. Thank you very much. We are also honored to have so many school leaders join us for this seminar because as we prepare our youth to be future ready, it is absolutely important for all of us to join hands. As I speak, I see another school head on my screen, Mrs. June Jose. I'm sure there are many. Welcome to you. And as I recognize you, I will call out your names. I would request Professor Powdyel to start the proceedings with a few words and blessings. Professor Powdyel, over to you.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Das. At a time such as today, when the whole world is undergoing so much of pain and suffering, it's such joy that we should be able to meet together like this. So far from each other, yet so close to each other. And I would like to thank you, Professor Das, and the members of the family of the Institute for Career Studies for having me join this beautiful circle of kindred souls. As a teacher myself, to be able to connect with so many fellow teachers and students and parents with whom actually I've spent all my working life over 3.5 decades now. I would like to thank you for making me a part of this beautiful gathering today. Being future ready, I'm sure, would be the aspiration of all our young people. But I think the future that we're going to see post COVID-19 would be very different from the one that we would have anticipated a couple of months ago. The kind of future that we're looking at seems so uncertain. We do not even know whether it's going to be viable at all. However, the right thing to do would be to prepare ourselves as best as we can for that future, whatever it may look like. It could be complex, it could be uncertain, it could be absolutely volatile and ambiguous. However, I think this is also the time when some of the most beautiful things of life are manifesting themselves so spontaneously. I've been following the news from all over the world and from within my own country. And as painful as the present situation is, one of the finest things that is coming out of this pain is the basic human goodness that is manifesting itself everywhere. People going out of their way to help each other, to make life a little more bearable and a little more comfortable for those who are less fortunate than some of us are at the moment. So when you talk about being future ready, I think it'll be bringing out the best in us. So far, we've had 4 revolutions, including Revolution 4.0. I think the next revolution will be Revolution 5.0. And it will be a revolution that will mark the return of the human in us. And I think it will be a celebration of all the sensibilities, the faculties, the basic human elements that make us who we are. So I think the future will call upon us to be more seeing, to be more hearing, and above all, to be more feeling. And I think that will be the purpose of education, to make us more human. And I would like to commend the tremendous efforts of the Institute of Career Studies, led by none other than Dr. Amrita Das and her colleagues, to bring all of us together to reflect on something that is as crucial as being future ready. So to all my colleagues and students and the children, the parents who have assembled today for this beautiful webinar, I would like to say what a great delight it's been for me to join all of you. And I wish each one of you good health and happiness as we look to the future. Thank you very much again, and all the very best.
Thank you very much, Professor Powdyel, for your inspiring words, for your blessing. As always, you bring such amazing insights which touch our heart, which touch our lives. Thank you once again. So, heartfelt welcome to each one of you. I see Colonel Shekhar, Mrs. Dhingra. We also have from Dubai International School, Bangkok, Principal Dominic. So we have a galaxy of students, of parents, of teachers, of principals, of eminent people who have led the education field, like Professor Powdyel. We are so honored and so delighted. I will be focusing on how to be future ready in a world that is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, driven by two factors now: Industrial Revolution 4.0. So I'll quickly share what Industrial Revolution 4.0 is all about. The first Industrial Revolution was in the 18th century and it was driven by steam. The second was in the 19th century with a focus on electricity and mass production, assembly line production. The third was 20th century information technology, and all of Generation Z was born during this time. But very quickly, we have moved on to education and careers 5.0 that Professor Powdyel talked about. And 5.0 is the post-COVID scenario. So whereas the VUCA world was moving very fast, Industrial Revolution 4.0 was catapulting us to fast-paced changes where the only constant was change, where a new page of history was being written before yesterday's ink was dry. Suddenly, we have been catapulted into yet another scenario. So the earlier prediction was that between 2012 and 2022, we would witness the same quantum of changes that the world witnessed in 100 years, between 1900 to 2000. But now we will be witnessing an escalated, super fast development in our lives. Imagine yourself on a Disney ride. It's going to be dizzying, but this is what we have to make very exciting. So the world then is going to be driven by Industrial Revolution 4.0, coupled by the changes brought in by the COVID scenario. So I want to take up the key elements in a fast changing world, how to make informed choices, regarding courses, campuses, and careers. So that is the right course at the right campus, careers 4.0, post-COVID careers, studies in India, studies abroad, employability skills, and Q&A responses throughout. We've received hundreds of questions which our team has put together, and throughout I will be responding to those questions. So when we go back to the theme that we were looking at, and I was saying that COVID has further accelerated the pace of change, impacting every sphere of our lives. Let's see opportunity in adversity while coping with the havoc caused by COVID. As Professor Powdyel said, some wonderful things have happened, which may restore the equilibrium on our beautiful planet Earth. First is the environmental rejuvenation. All of us are seeing blue skies. The pollution, which was a cause of worry, has gone. You have the birds and the butterflies and the animals out now, not fearing humans. We have innovations happening, amazing innovations. For example, a lot of people have made designer masks. They have made amazing kits for washing hands, for testing. Indigenous life support systems have been developed across the world. So that is another amazing development. A lot of innovation has happened in a short span of 3 or 4 months. Then caring and sharing. Back to being in touch with our universe, inner universe, back in being touch with family and friends and the people around the world in a very, very warm and personal manner, which is bound to enhance the happiness quotient. So the caring and sharing includes free resources of courses, books, entertainment, cultural resources. You can visit 15 museums of Europe free of cost, attend the most expensive programs online from West End. So there's a lot of cultural enrichment happening, sharing of resources free of cost. Harvard University has put out at least 25 amazing courses which you can take online, also free of cost. We have learned to be more patient. We've learned to be more careful about our health, agile in quickly adapting and responding to the challenges. So I believe that students of today are not leaders of tomorrow, they're leaders of today. Some years ago, when I was in an international conference in San Francisco, a young boy who had launched an NGO called Save the Child, he came up and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please don't look at us as leaders of tomorrow. Think of us as leaders of today. Our Generation Z, you are definitely leaders of today. You have taught us various sustainable practices. You have taught us how to reach the unreached in a very, very caring manner." So, out here, I'm going to give you some examples which may resonate with you. So, we have young Samay from Bengaluru who developed a beautiful video about our circadian rhythm, our body clock. He made a presentation in San Francisco. It was a global competition and he won 2.9 crores. The school got money for an innovation lab. So here is somebody who ideated, researched, and developed something which brought together physics and psychology. Next to him, we have Shapat Bharadwaj, a grade 12 student. He's just done his grade 12. He was very worried when he spoke to me a few days ago. And he said that he cannot go out for practicing. So I told him the time will come. I discovered that he was very good with animations, loved gaming, and I suggested that he get in touch with some friends and develop an app. Within days, he had an app which is already trending. It's a gaming app and it's a fun app. Then we have Angad Daryani from Mumbai, who is developed a virtual reader for the virtually challenged. We have the one with the big zoom camera. We have Arshdeep Singh, who has received the World Photography Award for 2018. Then Sarah Rose, young Sarah Rose, 9 years old, who co authored her first book with an established author, Para Anand. So, Paro Anand and Sarah Rose brought out a book recently which is trending called A Very Naughty Dragon. Samaira Maheta, the person to the right of the screen, is a 10-year-old founder CEO of Coda Bunnies, and they have developed a game to teach children coding. She herself teaches coding to young kids. Anand Krishna, at the bottom of the screen, is a teacher. He started a school at the age of 11. So early morning, he goes out and teaches children, and he's already taught hundreds of children. So, dear students, you can be the writer, the artist, the designer, the teacher, the inventor, entrepreneur, sports person, leader, filmmaker, philanthropist of today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it now. You have the talent. Presently, you have the time. You've got access to technology. Make a difference. Do it now. We now move on to how do you make choices? So, where your talents and the needs of the world converge, there are a lot of opportunities for success. So, all of us want a dream job. And when I ask students what their dream job will be, you'll be surprised to know that making a lot of money is not top of the list. Yes, it's important to earn well, but top of the list for a dream job is something that will give me meaning to my life, something that will bring out the best in me, tap my potential to the fullest, make me happy, fulfilled, where I can give back to society. I get the most amazing responses. So, as you think of your dream job, think of what you'd love to do. What is your passion? Make your passion your profession. What you're great at, and then what the world needs. So, at ICS, we have a process: know yourself, inform yourself, plan for yourself. For knowing yourself, it is essential to identify your aptitudes, your interests, your aspirations, your talents. And we have found that aspirations and passion can help to boost your aptitude. If you have a dream and if you want something, you work towards it, the aptitudes will follow. So today, whatever you want, if you work towards it, you're going to get that. So I would say aptitudes are never static. You can build up the aptitudes to match with your talents, match with your interests. And then, of course, we need to see what the world needs. And things are moving fast. So, as I said, where your talents and the needs of the world match, lie an opportunity. Then, once you've identified what you want, inform yourself. Information is power. The right information at the right time will get you to the right course, campus, and career. And in your lifetime, there'll be at least 5 different career types that you will have because of the fast paced changes, and also because as you journey in life, you will change and the outer landscape will also be changing. So we have to constantly align the changes within ourselves with the changes that are happening around us. And finally, planning is ongoing. So I want to share a story with you. When Alexander the Great decided to conquer the world, he went to his guru Aristotle. And he said to Aristotle, "Sir, give me one tip that will enable me to succeed in my mission to conquer the world." Alexander waited for an answer. Aristotle looked deep into his eyes and said, "Son, know thyself, know yourself, know your strengths, leverage them, know your weaknesses, reduce them, know the opportunities, make the most of them, and also know the threats, the stumbling blocks." And I think this is the time when we need to do a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, but without forgetting what our aspirations are, what will give meaning to our life, what will give us fulfillment and happiness. We go to the next one now. The good news is, students, that today maximum careers can be accessed from any subject combination or choices. The reason being that research has shown that if you take up subjects that you're naturally good at, those subjects will lead to intellectual development. They are the golden key that opens your mind to all possibility. So let us not go by stereotypes of what used to be. What used to be was science at the top, then the commerce stream, and humanities had gone out of the door. And today it's all about from STEM to STEAM, from science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, an integration, a combination of subjects that resonate with you, that will tap your ability to the best and open your mind to possibilities. So let's see what a right subject choice does. Firstly, it develops your intellect. You do well. You love what you're doing. You achieve high performance levels. And when you achieve high performance levels, it enhances your self esteem, the feel good factor. You feel great. You feel rewarded. You feel intrinsically motivated. Then you don't need to go for tuition. You have time for extracurricular activities, for hobbies. All of this then develops a smart mind and a smart personality, and ultimately leads to happiness, fulfillment. So, this is what you have to keep in mind as you make your choices, because these are interrelated, and we need to bring this circle of happiness and fulfillment into our lives. So, as I said, most subjects are available from all subject streams and combinations. Here's a subject eligibility chart. For engineering in most countries, but not in US and Canada and UK, you need physics, chemistry, and math. India is also going to change, and you may have heard the news that from next time, the eligibility will be physics and math, with chemistry for chemical engineering, petroleum engineering. For architecture, pharmacy, engineering, merchant navy, biotechnology, you need physics, chemistry, math. So pharmacy and engineering institutions would need PCM, but in other colleges you can go with physics, chemistry, biology. Interestingly, for Air Force and Navy, you just need physics and math. Similarly, for civil aviation. So look at the possibility of having physics, math, and perhaps economics, literature, geography, philosophy, computer science, anything else. Math is necessary for economic honors in some top universities the world over, in Delhi University, Kolkata University. However, you can take economics without math in Bombay University and Bangalore University and some others. For Bachelor of Computer Applications and Bachelors of Commerce honors, you also need math, but there is a relaxation for BCA, wherein with computer science or applications, you can go for BCA without math. For medical field, veterinary science, biotechnology, BSc, and pharmacy, you require physics, chemistry, and biology. And for medicine, you can also have biotechnology in place of biology, but I would recommend don't give up biology if you're appearing for the very difficult medical exam. A question I often get here, and I've this question came up. The question is, can I do biotechnology without math? Yes. In some engineering institutions, you can do biotechnology with physics, chemistry, biology, but you would have to study math in the foundation course of the university in the first year. So even this is possible. The other alternative route I want to share with all of you, that supposing you find that math is necessary, or physics or chemistry is necessary for something, and you don't feel you're going to get good grades in the board exams, what you could do is, don't take it for the board exams, take it as an open school subject or an advanced placement subject. AP is run by the college board, and you have AP Math, which is calculus AB and BC, which you can take outside of the board system. So we had a student some years ago who wanted to go for wildlife sciences, but wasn't getting biology in school. Biology was being offered with physics and chemistry. So he took up geography, economics, environmental science, and he did biology as an open school subject. Guess what? That eligibility of biology got him to do a master's in wildlife sciences, and he's got something that he's passionate about. He is very much a part of the wildlife scenario, and he works with Nat Geo. So he's with Nat Geo right now. Isn't that marvelous? So what I want to share with you is, while looking at the eligibility chart, don't feel that it blocks you from realizing your dream. We will guide you with alternative routes. So there are fortunately many alternative routes today. Another question which we have is that if we drop math in 11 and 12, and we received about 300 questions before the webinar, what about non-science students who don't take up math in +2 as a subject? Dear students, I want to share with you, see what is available to you without math in 11 and 12. Advertising, corporate communication, art, design, accountancy. Just look at the entire list, from management to media to law to social work, business studies. A lot is available to you without math. A lot of you now have completed grade 12 and are waiting for admission. And the one confusion that a lot of students had, and we had questions, so we developed this to respond to your question. The question was, should we go for an academic or a professional course after grade 12? So what we have found is that if you're going for a professional program like engineering or medicine or architecture, which happens right after grade 12, it is better to go for that straight away. But in the case of management, hotel management, law, social work, what we recommend is, first consider whether or not you have an interest in academics. If you're great in academics and you're interested in academics, it is better to take the academic route. So do a BA in a subject of your choice, BSc, BCom. Because what will happen after that is, you will open yourself to specializations in that field, or if you don't wish to go with specializations, you will move into a professional program. And it can be anything: management, advertising, journalism, public relations, social work, law, filmmaking, design, hospitality, travel, and tourism. So you have an option to shift, but you also have an option to go in for a specialization. And the two building blocks will be great, where you have a subject, competency, knowledge, and you look at a professional course along with it. There's some combinations which are also available, which are amazing. For example, English, psychology, and journalism, economics, sociology, industrial relations, performing arts, English, and psychology, What wonderful combinations. Economics, media study, and political science. BA, BEd, BSc LLB, BA LLB, BCom LLB. There's such a wide variety of choices today. So you need to pause and think. You need to fine tune the choice to your own unique frequency, students. And when that happens, we are there to guide you. There were many questions. So we again are going to show you the professional courses after grade 12 from all subjects. So as I mentioned, you can move into law, management, media with many specializations, and defense services. So for the army, you don't need any specific subjects. Social work. Today you can do a bachelor's in social work, then hotel management, culinary arts, travel and tourism, art and design. And I had a question from a student. And after that, many more came up that as a result of the COVID circumstances, the hospitality sector, travel, tourism has come to a standstill. How long will it take it to recover? Should we look at plan B? So this sector has been hit. We need to actually wait and watch. But yes, it's important to have a plan B. And even if you've done one of these programs, doesn't matter. You have transferable skills. You may have done travel and tourism, but you can move on to online journalism and be a travel and tourism blogger or expert. So people who've done bachelor's in hotel management also learn marketing. You can move into digital marketing. So these are transferable. If one particular sector slows down, quickly move with your knowledge and skills to another and continuously upgrade your knowledge and skills. Interestingly, all these accountancy fields are also open to people from all subject combinations. Chartered accountancy, cost and management accountancy, company secretary. And if you have interest in accounts, it's worth considering these fields. For example, if you do law and you're interested in accounts, so law with chartered accountancy is a wonderful combination. Company secretary with law or management is again a wonderful combination. So look at combinations that will always have relevance and ensure that you can hop, skip, and jump with these transferable skills and knowledge. For the medical field, you need physics, chemistry, biology, and that is for medicine, dentistry, paramedical fields like physiotherapy, speech therapist, occupational therapist. I want you to know that the health sector is going to boom. Caregivers are going to do very well. So all these fields will have a huge scope. So also with pharmacy. And you can do BSc LLB, and with biology background, you can think of specializing in genetics law. You can also carry on with BSc in a specialization. I'll show you some specializations, and either move over to any other career like management or law or media, or go in for scientific research. So if we were to look at emerging medical and cross-disciplinary specializations, and we had many questions, wherein students said, what if we don't want to go for the medical field or a paramedical field? What else is there? So here are some new fields: age reversal, aerospace medicine, critical care medicine becomes so important in recent months, diagnostic radiology, emergency medicine, gene editing, hyperbaric medicine, which is oxygenated treatment, lifestyle medicine. I think we'll need a lot of this post-COVID. Medical robotics, nuclear medicine, this is going to be very popular again. Sports medicine. So these are some emerging specializations in the field of medicine. Another question which I'll take up before I come to the physics, chemistry, math is, students say, what if we like physics, chemistry, biology, and we want to take up in class 12, but we may wish to move on to management thereafter? Please take up subjects that you love, because you can move anywhere. They don't restrict you. Don't feel restricted that PCB equals medicine or PCB is just science careers. That knowledge will be useful across the board. Now, coming to physics, chemistry, math, you can move into medicine, architecture, computer applications and IT, BSc LLB. Very, very interesting specialization with BSc LLB would be cyber law. With all the hacking that is happening, with all the cyber crime that is happening, cyber law has a huge demand. Patents law. Similarly, BSc in a subject. For Air Force and Navy, you require physics, chemistry, math, no. You require just physics and math. For commercial flying, physics and math. For merchant navy, physics, chemistry, math. Defense entry into the Army Institute of Technology requires you to have physics, chemistry, and math. Now, there are specializations from physics, chemistry, math which would be trending, like AI, robotics, machine learning, biomimetics, where you mimic nature. A beautiful example of biomimetics is the bullet train of Japan. You know, when the bullet train used to pass through a tunnel, it used to make a big bang while going in and a big bang while coming out. People living in that area got ear problems. So one day, a person was sitting by the lakeside and he noticed that the kingfisher bird would dive into that lake and pick up a fish without scaring it away, effortlessly, not even a splash. So that gave him an idea, and therefore the bullet train came about with a kingfisher like beak, and the problem was solved. So if you sit and observe nature, you get a lot of ideas from nature, and that's biomimetics. Bioinformatics, biometrics, like your biometrics for thumb impression, for eyes, for your identity. This has become very, very refined. Biomedical engineering, cheminformatics, cleodynamics, where you bring math and history together to predict future trends. Computational social science, data analysts, embedded systems, exometeorology is going to be very, very much in demand, mechatronics, and so much more. So there are a lot of specializations you can go for, but otherwise move on. We have more nanotechnology. It's come of its own neuroparasitology, nutrigenomics, organic electronics, quantum biology, planetary engineering, with plans to discover more universes, to land on Mars, to have planetary colonies. Planetary engineering is going to be a big field. Quantitative biology, systems design engineering. I mean, it is endless. Students, you are indeed a lucky generation. There are infinite options for you and more coming up, many, many more. So at any point, if you have any doubt, you can write to us. We will fine tune the choices to your profile and give you ideas. Many questions came up. So this is in answer to the questions we got. We had about 500 students asking us before this webinar, what is liberal arts education? And students, it is trending. So liberal arts education offers a wide range of interdisciplinary courses across the natural sciences, social sciences, humanities, and arts, in contrast to just a vocational, professional, or technical course. These are also important, but liberal arts has gained in importance because it results in well-rounded individuals with knowledge of a wide range of subjects and mastery over one or two or more. Enhancement of higher order thinking skills, empathy, design thinking, creativity, etc. Acquisition of transferable employability skills, written and oral, verbal communications, teamwork, leadership, all this happens through a liberal arts education. And for those students who are interested in interdisciplinarity, it is ideal. So, this is the latest news. And the latest news is that liberal arts shine in the age of AI. And the answer is not difficult to find, because for the machine to be humanized, you need people with that kind of an outlook, with high emotional quotient. So the buzz phrase is that liberal arts students are the hottest ticket for tech companies. And that's one of the latest trends. So also psychology is very important. Now the other questions we got is, are there any specific specializations from humanities? So we're going to give you a few examples. And I would like parents to know that it's important to encourage your students to take up these specializations, because previously the norm was, and it was a stereotypical norm, that humanities leads to nothing really great. You won't end up with a super job, or you'll go into something like only teaching, though teaching is a great career, or research. So I want to assure you, parents, that every subject today, like I showed the science ones, has specializations which are trending. So for English, it's creative writing, content writing. There's a huge demand for content writers today, journalism, linguistics, publishing, script writing, geography, and analyzing remote sensing data, cartography, economic geography, very, very important, energy analyst. Do you know that the price of oil has dropped from $60 a barrel to $20? And they're going to be alternative sources of energy. So energy analysts will have a huge scope in the future. So also would be environment and ecology experts, environmental managers. History, I spoke about cleodynamics. It's a VUCA world, uncertain. You don't know what's going to be happening next. So when you combine math with history, then you're able to predict the future with greater accuracy, because history is a study of the past to understand the present and predict the future. So by studying history and then combining it with mathematics, we are able to come up with scenario A, B, C, plans, what if this happens, if not, what. So if you love history and math, this is going to be a great future specialization. Cultural resource management, digital history. Everything is becoming digital. Economic history, international relations. All these are specializations from history. They're more political science, international relations, policy formulation, policy analyst, political advisor, and research analyst. For psychology, behavioral finance. Now, this is something new. With the kind of scenario that connects the world, if somebody sneezes in one part of the world, it affects another, and it affects the stock markets, and the stock markets came crashing. So if you understand human behavior, because you studied psychology and you attach it to finance or economics, you're able to handle this element in a better way. You're able to predict what could happen in different scenarios which are affected by human behavior. Psychology of artificial intelligence is the very latest. Cognitive sciences, how the mind works, forensic psychology, which is all about genetic fingerprinting, occupational psychology is going to be very, very important, particularly when so many people in the world have faced a lockdown of over a month of this magnitude. What do you do? How do you keep yourself busy? So, occupational psychology will be an emerging big area, and so also sports psychology. I'll show you now a summary of careers that will be open from all combinations, but students, parents, teachers, educators, there will be digital transformations in each career field. So the career field won't change, but there'll be digital transformations. For instance, in advertising and corporate communication, you have inbound marketing, you have digital marketing. In art and design, you have UI, UX. In business management, you have business analytics management. Career guidance is going to be big, delivered online as well. Computers and IT and so much more. So we go to the next. Vinith is smiling because he belongs to this field. He's our chief product officer. We have the educational field, needs a lot of more people. Hospitality. Now, when I talk of education, very quickly, education has moved from 2.0 to 4.0 to 5.0. How swiftly and efficiently schools moved to online platforms and delivered the best quality education. So schools didn't close down. The buildings may be closed, but the school is happening, delivering quality education at your doorstep at this stage. Let us give our teachers, our gurus, a big round of applause. Hospitality sector, yes, it will witness a dip, but it will be back. Insurance, law, mass communication, sociology related fields, performing art, social work, sports, so much more. So there's a lot of future in all of these, but in a digital persona, a digital avatar. Now, when we look at careers 4.0, careers that did not exist yesterday, but we have today, we have UI and UX, that is user experience, user interface. We have artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, big demand for wellness specialists, particularly for people who are senior citizens now. Digital marketing, forensic accounting, molecular gastronomy, about taking the experience of fine food, of great food, delicious food to another level. So, being that master chef who is into molecular gastronomy, law, genetics, and cyber, web series production. I have been excited to find that during this COVID time, school students have produced some wonderful web series production of the courses about what is happening, how to manage in this time, and they've been absolutely brilliant. So keep up with that, get together with your friends, and go in for either entertaining web series production or information ones. We come to another one which shows the interdisciplinary career choices that we have. So I'll show you there's a plethora of interdisciplinary choices which we have today, which would bring together things like psychology and biology, the earth sciences. A lot of scope for earth sciences for students who've studied geography, anthropology, who studied economics, biology, and chemistry, the earth sciences. Then bringing psychology and biology together. You know, a healthy body needs a happy mind, and a happy mind leads to a healthy body. And this was proved in a Harvard study, which was undertaken, the longest study ever. Do look at it. After 70 years almost of tracking its students and their families, the study clearly established that the people who were happy, successful, as well as healthy were people who had caring relationships, nurturing relationships in their home and in their community, and they found meaning in their life. So, all of that came together. Psychobiology, the combination gives us those inputs. A very new field here also is positive psychology. And you have neurosciences, cognitive sciences. Then there's data analytics. I talked about behavioral economics and finance, geodynamics, environment design, of how to design our environment to preserve our ecology and create sustainable beauty. And that has a lot of scope for people who are creative and who love nature. These are just a few examples. I now want to share with you the post COVID specializations. Perhaps we come to a very important area, and I'd like you to take special note of this. The most important one is digital transformations in all career fields. And in each career field, there'll be hybrid models of real and virtual worlds, which we are experiencing right now. We are experiencing more the virtual. We hope we'll be able to experience the real as well very soon. This will be the norm. Serial entrepreneurship, where you, as an entrepreneur, look at what the needs are and then you move quickly for it. As I mentioned, a lot of people have made designer masks or made masks out of material which was lying there and brought in some philanthropy. So there were a lot of tailors who didn't have work. So these people got together the material, sent it across to the tailors who made these masks, and they're being used widely and distributed widely. Environmental sciences, management, ecology, sustainable development expertise will be in great demand. Smart villages. Now, this is something very new, and after a lot of reflection, I felt that we focus too much on smart cities. We need to go back and we need to create smart villages so that the people there are able to avail of all the benefits that exist in cities. And that will help us to reach the unreached. And it must have a global orientation, which is thinking locally, acting globally, thinking globally, acting locally, with a big focus on sustainable lifestyles. Organic farming is another big area, especially for our health. High touch careers like counselors, caregivers, wellness specialists, teachers, trainers. This is an example of the high touch careers for which there'll be a lot of scope in the future. Then, scientific research. There'll be newer horizons for scientific research. So, if you love physics, chemistry, biology, math, you can move into scientific research and look for newer areas. A big field is going to be disaster management. We researched and found that there are very few courses in disaster management. And we're going to advise that this come up as an undergraduate program because there'll be big demand for people who know how to do pre-disaster, disaster, and post-disaster management. Analytics in all fields, in every field. It's not just a maths and stats or a business thing. You'll need analytics in education, you'll need analytics in the hospitality sector, health sector, design, for everything. And of course, computer science and IT innovations will have a lot of future because there's going to be an integration. And the future computed is a study brought by Microsoft. And in this study, Microsoft stated after considerable research that all technologists will have to have an understanding of humanities, and all students of humanities or commerce will have to have an understanding of technology. So that blended learning has become important because all organizations will bring together teams. And one of the favorite areas for me, which is a careers 4.0 and post-COVID specialization, is Imagineering. And Imagineering happens if you have deep knowledge of your subject and you bring together with it creativity and design thinking. So, Imagineering will provide a lot of possibilities through any subject combination. So, when we look at post COVID, when we look at a VUCA world, I want to emphasize that specialization in one field is not good enough for future jobs. And this has been stated by educationists and employers. So, students, what I would recommend right now, as you have time, there are certain courses which are in demand across the board. And you could take these online courses through Coursera or Udemy. Now, these are courses in analytics, digital marketing, and design thinking. Three very important courses. So, if you take them up now, you can start earning. There's amazing demand for each one, especially for digital marketing and with great language skills. If you do this course, Google has a free course in digital marketing. You can actually globally be a consultant or an entrepreneur in the field. So, also for analytics and design thinking. So, these are some trending specializations of today which you could make the most of. So, before we go into studies, India or anywhere in the world, I have a few questions which I'm going to take up, which came through. Akshita Singh says that after the lockdown ends, which sector is most likely to create more jobs and the least? So, the answer to it is that the sectors which will create more jobs are the health sector, services, pharmaceutical, R&D, food processing, retail, agriculture, e-commerce, information technology, online education. These are some which will be trending. The ones that will for at least 1 year not create more jobs are travel, tourism, hospitality sector, construction, real estate, and the manufacturing of non-essential goods. So this will witness a decline. Then the other question was, will students aspiring for Delhi University suffer? Not at all. I want to assure all of you, nobody will suffer because as I'll share with you right now, all admission deadlines have been extended. So keep in touch with us, with our website, with our Facebook page. We'll keep informing you. Then we have a question from Sayak Mitra, who wants to do filmmaking after completing his graduation. So he says, I've started with some small projects and my own production house. What a brilliant idea, Sayak Mitra, your own production house. He wants to join the Film and Television Institute of India or the Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute post graduation, and he wants to have some advice. What I want to say is that you started well. You have started making your own films, and this is going to give you a profile. It is going to give you some good practice. And for training, I would say you could also look at undergraduate courses which are available, short courses if you wish to do a bachelor's in art, science, or commerce. Alongside, you can specialize in either filmmaking or editing or cinematography, and then move in for a professional course. And there are many, many more programs. So you have FTII, of course, Film and Television Institute of India. You have other ones that you mentioned, which are very good also, the Satyajit Ray. But many universities have started these courses. So if you want to do it at the undergraduate level, St. Xavier's Kolkata is one of the best for filmmaking. But there are places across the world that you could look at, and many of these courses will be delivered online. Then we have questions from Harshita, which I'll answer subsequently. I've been answering questions which were asked by a majority of students. So as a lot of you are going to be studying in India, I would suggest for any kind of planning for your studies, identify the right course at the right campus. The right course will be the course best suited for you, and the right campus will be a campus that is known for it. Students and parents and teachers, the best news is that there was a time when there were more students and aspirants than seats in quality institutions. Now this has changed. We have more seats than students. So you have a choice. It is now a buyer's market, not a seller's market. But while you get the choice, make sure that when you get admission into renowned campus, which is not difficult if you prepare well, please ensure that the course you are studying is the course that will bring out the best in you, that will tap your talent. Because the questions we've received, over 100, and those questions, listen to very carefully, are if we get a great campus, but not the course of our choice, should we take the great campus and sacrifice the choice? I would say in the past you may have had to do it. But today you are definitely being able to get the right course at the right campus. So please research well, take advice of your teachers, and we are there to guide you because we continuously do research on this. And I can assure you, students, you've got all the time right now to have this clearly worked out, the course of your choice at the campus of your choice. So do not compromise either the course you aim for or the dream campus, it will happen. So apply across the country, and there are some top-notch institutions which are world-class, world-renowned, and I would suggest go for this ideal combination. This is again good news. If you participate in extracurricular activities or sports, performing arts, any of that will give you an edge for admission to many colleges and universities. So if you can manage academics with co-curriculars, please do that. It helps to develop your personality, it builds your resume, and it gives you access. Now, let's look at the COVID impact on admissions in India, and I'm answering your questions here. And I put this up because of the questions. So number one, registration process for undergraduate and postgraduate admissions have been put on hold for most colleges and universities across the country. Even Christ University, which had started its interview process, has presently put it on hold. So students do go to their websites. All the colleges and universities are posting the latest there, and we are also posting it on our FB page. So keep tracking it. Application deadlines for all competitive entrance exams have been extended. How lucky you are. What used to happen is that after the board exams, you had very little time to prepare. Now you have almost 2 months to prepare and make sure that your preparation is so good that you get into your dream campus. So this is a time to prepare. A lot of competitive entrance exams have general mental ability exercises which require accuracy with speed. Practice makes perfect. So practice, keep up with general knowledge. There'll be questions like, what is the full form of COVID? So you have the chat box open. Can anyone tell me what the full form of COVID is? Can we have some answers coming up from you? Vinit, any answers coming up?
Yeah, Akshita Singh, coronavirus disease 2019.
So COVID is coronavirus disease. So keep updated on all that is happening in the world now and everything which is related to it. The entrance exam dates have also been extended. So what you need to do is don't worry. Take this extended time as a bonus. Let us not look at time as linear time. Let's be in the flow. Good things will happen. You've got a bonus time. to develop your hobbies and talents and to also prepare better to be successful. So please don't worry, just keep in touch by having a very good time planner in place and time management system in place, and for which I would say list down all that has to be done and then prioritize with number one for a must, number two for a should, and number three for a could do. So please do manage your time well, exercise well, have a nutritious diet, try recipes at home. So all this can happen, and I think it's going to be great. We go to studies abroad. This is going to be very, very interesting. I can give you a prediction right away after a lot of study and a lot of interaction with university and college heads, admission directors, representatives. There's going to be a big dip in the financial outlay of universities. And because of that, they're going to open up for many more students. They're going to be more liberal. And I'll share how they're going to be more liberal. So you will find that access to the top universities globally will be possible like never before. So that is one. Secondly, when it comes to fees, because the universities will bring in new patterns of delivering their courses, what is going to happen is fees would become more reasonable because part of the course would be delivered online and part on the campus, and you'll have many choices. So access to quality education will become much easier. So owing to delay in board results, there's a major relaxation in the rules. Visa applications will be entertained at later dates. SAT and ACT have been made optional by some campuses. So access to these campuses without SAT and ACT. GMAT, GRE and advanced placement to move online with home-based testing. Now, the negative here is that post-study work offers have been deferred, but not cancelled. They've been deferred for later. DAD, which is for Germany, DAAD has announced that individual scholarships for studies in Germany will not be available in 2020 because most likely many of the courses will be deferred. The next one is important. I think the most VUCA factor we have in our lives is Donald Trump. We just don't know what announcements are going to come. And the most recent announcement is that he has said that he's going to cancel work visas for non-Americans. So already what has happened, that the science, technology, engineering, math students, the STEM students in USA, their optional practical training, OPT, has been put on hold. So they now don't have preference. The direct admission for students from abroad to Indian institutions for engineering and architecture from 2021 onwards will be via JEE means instead of SAT. INSEAD is a top business school of the country of France. It's in Paris. So INSEAD is now accepting applications for MBA without GMAT, GRE or TOEFL scores. Isn't that amazing? So very much more open, very much more liberal, very much more accepting, a very huge shift to education abroad being more of a buyer's market than a seller's market. It is advantaged you students. And that is something wonderful that has happened. And here I'm answering the questions which were asked by Harshita of Modern School in Kolkata. Harshita also wanted to know what will happen for application for residence in countries abroad. So all the universities have informed us that the same process will be in place, and the moment there's an opening to apply, you can apply and you'll be able to get residence, and they're going to go out of their way to help you. The other thing is happening. Every campus right now is making itself very safe in terms of the health of the students. So those practices, post-COVID practices to safeguard your health are coming into play. I had talked about the top employability skills in the Careers 4.0. So data literacy, critical thinking, tech savviness, adaptability, flexibility, design thinking, entrepreneurship, emotional intelligence, cultural intelligence, and global literacy, very important. Students, you can get it now. There are a lot of very good courses available online. What used to be summer courses offline are available online, and you can see how you can connect with universities for these online courses. Leadership skills, complex problem solving, collaboration. What amazing collaboration is happening! If you are, for example, a musician, you can get in touch with orchestral players across the world and put up a concert. And this happened in One World recently. So build your collaboration skills by getting in touch with like-minded people doing projects across the world. Research projects, other projects, develop a film with people from across the world. It will be so amazing. Then curiosity for lifelong learning is a must. And the best thing that has happened is wonderful new courses on offer, mostly free, but for certification ones, you would have to pay. So you have possibilities now like never before to develop your employability skills. So finally, how do you prepare for the unknown? Firstly, fine tune the choices to your frequency, confront misconceptions, pursue an interwoven learning education, be informed, keep track of new specializations, take up the right course at the right campus, and create a multi-dimensional career portfolio that will bring together the building blocks of all your talents. So let's see what it looks like. We have an example for you. We have one example in Professor Powdyel, who was an education minister. He's a writer, he's a speaker, he talks in countries across the world, and educationist. So, educationist turned politician, speaker, writer, and awarded for all that he does. I'm so happy that the example is with us, Professor Powdyel. So this is an example where you can also be a lawyer, a human rights activist, a creative writer, and an educationist. So think of how you can bring the building blocks together. But best of all, need a job, invent it. And one of the things I share with students is from the poem of Robert Frost. Robert Frost wrote, "Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the one less traveled by, and it made all the difference." Now, what I say today is many roads diverge in the woods. Take the one least traveled by. Better still, make one of your own. And I think if you have that in your mind, a mind of enormous possibilities, which will lead you to realizing your life's purpose, your, I would say, swadharma, and your true callings in life. So keep that in mind also. So as we come to an end, in this scenario, what has it taught us? It has taught us to anticipate, prepare, get out of our comfort zone, and lead the change. That's what we need to do. Anticipate, prepare, hop out of the comfort zone, and lead the change, and enjoy the blue ocean rather than the red ocean, red hot with competition. So let's prepare for and challenge the future today to lead the change and create a better tomorrow. We will share with you our contact details. Students, we promise you, everyone who writes will have an individual response to your query. Within the next few days, we will give you answers to your question in a very specific way We've tried to answer the questions that came through. We've collected the others, and I would like to then now share our contact details with you. We are also giving you a password and ID to our website, which has a lot of information on an A to Z spectrum of careers, studies across the world. So website is www.icscareersonline.com. Your user ID is ICS guidance and your password is ICS member. Welcome to ICS as a member and feel free to write to us at any point of time. If you write to us and you say, we need to talk to you, we'll call you because you're all now members of ICS and we want each one of you to realize your dream in your journey of life. We go to the next one to show you some more. So we have a website and we also have an FB page. Our FB page is ICS International, Career by Choice, Not Chance. Every day we put out the latest information. So if you go on to ICS International, Career by Choice, Not Chance, you will be able to get updates on courses, campuses, careers, and scholarships. You can write to us. If you write to us at institute@icsmail.in, we will respond to your queries straight away. You can phone us, our numbers are there, and we welcome you to be in touch. We have some of the most amazing counselors in the world at ICS. They are our senior career counselors, dedicated 24/7 to being able to support students in their queries and help you at any point of time. Recently, we were connected by students of Jammu and Kashmir, and we had a webinar with Jammu and Kashmir students, specifically joining them in the first ever one, and lots of queries came. And some of those queries came after working hours, came after 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., but our counselors were answering, and we are so proud of them. Thank you once again. Before we close, I want you to know that the next webinar is going to be on 9th of May, which is the ICS Counselors Day. So for those who missed out, 9th of May is the next webinar, 5 p.m. onwards. Please send questions. You're welcome to ask your friends to join us. Before we say a word of thanks, Professor Powdyel, thank you very much. Would you like to share just a few words?
Well, thank you so much indeed, Dr. Amrita Das, for this most engaging and insightful session. My only wish is that, how I wish I were standard 12 student now to benefit from all these limitless possibilities that you have presented before all of us this evening. Thank you so much indeed for making me a part of this great festival of learning. And I'd also like to wish all the members of the audience the very best. Do take care of yourselves and stay safe. Wash your hands with soap and water. Have a mask on when you go out. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all, students, parents, teachers, principals, everyone. You have made a difference. You have been wonderful. God bless you. Thank you all. We'll keep in touch. Don't hesitate to write whenever you have a question or to phone us. Thank you once again. God bless you all. And we will be in touch. So the end of this webinar should be the beginning of a wonderful association. Thank you. It's been a huge honor to have you in our midst. And we remember the time when you visited ICS and you were there for a happiness conclave. You left such a huge impact in our hearts. And we go back today with that impact again. Thank you all, and we'll meet again.